Hello everyone. In this programming video lecture, we're going to talk about main function in Python, and this is what we're going to talk about. Okay, and we also have a special variable Alright, so as for many programming languages, we have a special function called main function, right? And for Python programs, we haven't come across any such function so far. So we know that if you are already familiar with main function, main is actually the it is the starting point for execution of the program. So whatever statements you are writing inside this main function, they will get executed. So this is how a program gets to know from where to start execution. But for Python programs, since we haven't we did not talk about main function. So what is the execution point? How does a program know the execution point for Python programs, right? How does it know what is the starting point for execution of program? Well, we know that statement at 0 level indentation is executed first. So what I mean by that, I'll create a very simple program here, and I'm going to create a file actually. So I'll go to file and new file. This is I'm going to save it with let's say a name file. I already have file 2, so I'll save it with first file. Okay, and in this I'm going to write a statement. So let's say I will write this is a file. I'll save it. I'm going to run it. Okay, so it says this is a file. Now how did this execution actually happen? Well, this is as you know that Python works with indentation. So this is the 0 indentation level. This is 0 level indentation, and execution in Python programming starts from 0 level indentation. So it will start from first statement and second statement and so on, right? Okay, I will show you. I will take another file now. So this is going to be, I'll save it with second file. That is going to be the name. And in this file, I'm going to import first file, and then I will also print a message. Let's say, how are you? Okay, now can you guess what is going to be the output of this program? Well, if I'm executing first file, then this is going to be the output. This is a file because this is the 0 level indentation statement. So this is going to be executed. But if I'm executing second file, do you think the output should be how are you, or output should be this is a file and then how are you? Well, let's run the program. So it says this is a file, how are you? Now this is a file is a statement borrowed from first file, and how are you is a statement from second file itself, right? I hope you got the idea. So when I execute this program, this 0 level indentation statement will be executed first, and since it says import first file, it goes to first file, and then if I don't have any statement here, it will not execute anything. Okay, now since it is it sees this print statement, and it means that this statement should be printed on the screen if you're importing this file. So this statement will be executed, and after that it comes to second statement and the statement will be executed, right? Okay, now let's say I remove this statement. Okay, I'll save it. Now I'll run it. Okay, so the output is this is a file, right? Now for this kind of execution, we don't get any idea which file this statement belongs to. So if I'm executing first, second file, I mean, how do I know where the statement came from, right? Now there is a special variable called, if you look at, let's say a user executes the program, user will not actually know where the statement is coming from. If I look at this, if I look at this program file, I'll get to know that I'm importing a file. So if it is not given here, then it is definitely coming from this file. But otherwise there is no way of knowing it. And one more thing, if I execute this file, if I'm executing first file, so if I press run here, so this first file is the main file that I'm executing. Okay, so I will execute it, statement will be printed, and this is going to be the main file. Now I'm talking about main file here. Similarly, if I execute second file, even though statement is being taken from first file, since I will be executing second file, so in this case main file will be second file and not the first file, because I'm importing statement from first file, but in reality I'm actually executing second file. Okay, now let's talk about main function. So as I told you, we have this special variable called name. And when you're using this, you don't have to give space here. I just gave space so that it will be, you will be able to know what this is actually. These are two underscores. If I write something like this, it doesn't look like a little bit, but it actually gives an impression like it's not double underscore. So it has to be double underscore without space anywhere. Okay, so double underscore name double underscore. You don't have to give space after name or before name or in between underscores. So this is a special variable, and when a file is executed, this variable is set to the name of that file. So when I execute first file, by default this name variable is set to the name of first file, and this first file becomes the main file. So in these cases, the way we are executing now, if I execute first file or I execute second file, so let's say I'm executing first file, so this file becomes my main file. But if I execute second file, right, second file will become my main file. And when I look at the output, I don't know that explicitly which one is my main file, because this happens by default behind the scenes. So what if I want to know if I am borrowing statement from an imported file or the statement belongs to the main file that I'm actually executing, right? I can explicitly write a statement, something like this. So let's say if name equals to main print, this is a file, else coming from imported file. Okay, and I'm not going to use this statement. Why? Because if I use this statement here, if I let it be here, first this statement will be executed and then control will come to this point, right? Okay, so I will save it, right? I'm sorry. Okay, second file. So I'll go to second file. Now I'll save it again. And now I'll run it. Okay. Now what happened here? It says coming from imported file. Why? Because when execution starts from this part, okay, first file becomes the main file, right? So first file is your main file. I'm sorry, second file is your main file because I'm executing second file. So second file becomes your main file, right? Which means for this execution, underscore underscore name underscore underscore, so name variable is set to main in this program behind the scenes, right? So it is already set to main for second file. So when this first statement gets executed, it says import first file, control goes to first file, and here it says if name equals to main. So since this is not my main file, in first file name is not set to main. So for that particular file that I'm executing, name will be set to main. So in this case, name is set to main for second file, right? So when the control goes to first file, it checks if name is equal to main. So it is not equal to main for first file, right? Hence this is false and it goes to else, and it says coming from imported file, right? If I execute this one, it says this is a file. Why? Because now I was executing first file, right? So this is main file, and name is set to main for first file. So when I execute this program, name is already set to main for first file. So this statement is true and this is a file gets printed, right? You can use these same statements here also. You just need to copy and paste it here. Okay, and since I'm actually not using any imported file, it is actually going to say this is a file because I wasn't using any imported file. So this is how it works, because when you execute the program for that particular program, this name variable is already equal to that file name currently executed or that program name currently executed. So it is used to identify main module. Main module is module that you're executing. I really hope you understood the secret behind main function in Python programming. If you still have any doubt, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. I'll try to give you I will try to explain with other different examples or other different ways using different examples basically. So yeah, please let me know if you have any doubt, and thank you so much for watching this video. If you haven't subscribed already, please do subscribe so that you do not miss any other programming video, and I'll see you in the next video lecture with another question that I received from one of my students. So till then, take care.